Yes, my people, welcome back to the platform. This is Fire Gang Entertainment, and you're here with Elians. And like always, I'd like to wish you and your family peace, love, and prosperity wherever you guys may be around the world. Love, love, love. But let's get into this. Here we go talking about this floodgate that's been open to Guyana right now, for us with the Cubans and the Venezuelans coming in at a high number. And before I get into that, I want to say I don't have no problem with people trying to find ways to better their life or better their loved one's life, even if you got to cross seas to better yourself. Because growing up, I watched my parents, I watched their parents go through the process for their visa, passport, and this process took a long time. It took years, 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 to the point we started to give up. We said, man, listen, we're gonna have to just settle in Guyana and do what we gotta do. So I understand that need to do better for yourself and your family. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, let's get into this. We have Spanish coming into Guyana by the high numbers. A lot of people is frustrated with this action. I don't think the people frustrated with the Spanish coming into Guyana. I think they're frustrated with the time that is happening. Because, you know, Guyana also have a lot of poverty community. Guyana also have a lot of people that's doing bad, that need help in Guyana, right? So, my thing is, this is just my opinion. If you're gonna flood Guyana with people from different countries, if you're gonna flood because you want the people to think that these people is coming for a better life because they are doing so bad in their country. Okay, that's the narrative that the government want to paint to the Guyanese people. Okay. You see, these politicians, when they come into office with their promises, they promise the people this, they promise the, just like Ali, Jack Dio, yeah, I promise Guyanese people the world, promise, right? None of these promises was fulfilled, right? Okay, leave that right there. No, let's go to Venezuela. The U.S. went into Venezuela, kidnapped the president and the first lady, kidnapped this man and his wife, and y'all take them to the U.S., some isolated camp y'all got for them, and lock these people away. We don't know what's going on because, like always, the human nature right now, when it comes to the attention span, right now is very short. Because people have their own life to deal with. So the white man know this, right? Take the president out. A lot of people don't understand. This is not about the betterment of the people. A lot of you guys also understand that. It's not about the betterment of the people. The thing about a white man standing on anybody's soil, when a white man come and stand on a country's soil, the reason that white man is there is because their country has something to offer, or he's already controlling something in their country. That's why he's there. The white man don't just come to help a country grow. If it's not his own country with his own people, he don't care. Because, perfect example, you see what's going on in Haiti right now? with all this gang war, black killing blacks, and there's a lot of war going on, big guns and things. Up to this moment, up to this point, up to now, the U.S. Navy haven't been to Haiti. Nobody been into Haiti to help that situation. You know why? Because the white man don't feel he could gain something from Haiti. And the next thing is black killing black. So the more black people kill more black people, that's their goal. You hear me? Because let's be real, the white man been trying to kill out the African people since the beginning of time. That's why you notice any type of major disease or big disease, they always say start in Africa. Because they target is the black man. Okay. They went to Venezuela, removed the president. My thing is, if you guys feel that this man was a dictator and he was doing so much, why didn't you guys went through the right process of getting him out of office and replacing him with somebody else? The Donald Trump first term, we didn't think Donald Trump was ready for the country, but nobody went and dragged Donald Trump out. We had to sit in Donald Trump old term till he was out. Now Donald Trump is back in office again. People still don't agree with him being the president. You notice anybody gonna take Donald Trump out of office? But this is just to show you how the white man move. White is right. You hear me? And this been happening since the beginning of time. Y'all want to take this man out. Why you guys didn't open this floodgate to America? Why you guys didn't open out this floodgate to America? You know why y'all open it in Guyana? Because Guyana now was supposed to be a country that's rising fast because of the minerals on the island. Guyana land you could plant and the cattle thing you could do in Guyana. We should have been rising fast. But what the people don't know, the moment Guyana discovered Isle, that Isle was no longer Guyana Isle. The Isle went straight to the US. Guyana only see 30% of the money came from that oil, 30%. Most of that money went to the US. Minerals money go to the US because we gotta understand as people, Guyana don't have no defense force. We don't have no weapon. Anything that's going to happen to Guyana, somebody have to protect Guyana from these things happening to Guyana. This is where the US come in as Guyana protection. Partially China help out. But this is where the US come in because the US already think Guyana is a part of America. Just like the US think Venezuela is a part of America, and that's what they're trying to do. Okay, y'all want to take out the president of Venezuela. We all know that was for the oil. This was for the oil. This is why y'all take this president out of Venezuela. But the reason why the floodgate was opening to Guyana now is because people start questioning where Guyana money is going. Where is Guyana dollars going? It's not going towards the economy. We're not seeing it going towards nowhere. But what the people of Guyana don't know is Guyana money, Guyana oil money, been gone. Guyana really don't have no oil money. The little bit of money that's coming in from that oil is going into the president's pocket to build his generational wealth, and whatever will trickle down, he's giving away cash grant for 100,000. Guyana don't have a defense force. Guyana don't have no weapon. So who is gonna stop the white man from taking Guyana riches? Nobody. Guyana president have to agree, because understand, this is, the white man is letting these people be. You can't stop nothing. This is why when Maduro say he coming for SC Cribbo, America jump out and say, hey, nobody ain't touching nothing. We gonna protect everything. We gonna do this, because this is their position in Guyana. Anything Guyana find is American. America own it. So the money from the oil couldn't come to Guyana to build the economy, because that's not the white man focus to build Guyana economy. Back to the floodgate. I got off the topic a little bit. Back to the floodgate. Guyanese people start questioning where Guyana money going. Right? Venezuela people questioning why the US did this and and they didn't go through the right process of finding the right president and and why didn't the US open a floodgates to the US? US didn't want to do that, because the white man like to keep his home his home. You hear me? And he want America keep rising. He don't want no other country grow past America. That's why every chance they get, if they find out a country like Iran got this and that, whatever country they find out got something that they could use, they go and they say it's dictatorship going on, is weapon of mass destruction, and they bring some type of war to the country and they take what they need, and then they gone and enriching, whether it's England, anywhere the white man there, they enriching that part of the world, right? The conversation is high in Guyana about the government using up this, the government using up that, and the government, and we ain't seen no money, we ain't seen no start, we ain't seen no rising of the economy, we ain't seen nothing. So here come the answer. Release the people into Guyana, because this is gonna do two things. This is gonna water down Venezuela to make the US drain the oil more fast, and this is gonna stop the conversation in Guyana about the government taking the money, because now the people who thinking about going on strike in Guyana can't go on strike no more, because when you think you're gonna turn away $60,000 a month, guess what? A Spanish man gonna come in here and he gonna work for $10,000 a month. So when you think you're gonna get up your chair and walk away, no, you can't do that. So the conversation, the narrative has been changed. Now, we went from the government spending money to, hey, we got too much Spanish in this country now, how we gonna deal with this? Because remember, the white man he don't fix problem. All he do is deter your attention from one thing to the next. Pay attention. You remember when the Africans was working in the sugarcane field in Guyana, when they start to elevate and start saying, yeah, we need more salary, we need better salary, we need more money, because we cutting sugarcane in the hot sun all day, we need more money. You see what the European did? They didn't pay them more money. They went and grabbed people from India and bring them to Guyana by the shipload, and they pay them less. They pay them less, but they put them in less hard work. They didn't have to do excruciating work like for us chopping cane in the sun all day. Some of them, don't get me wrong, some people have to do the same thing, but they make sure they put them in position to watch over the African. If the Africans was working over here, they're gonna put the Indians right there to look over and see who wasn't walking and who wasn't that. You hear me? So this is the tactics the Europeans use. Same thing they do in America. When black American and some white Americans start feeling like, you know what, we build this country. My ancestors and people build this country. We ain't gotta do these hard labor y'all want us to do while y'all sit down in your office and collect money. You know what they do? They went and bring Spanish people. They opened the floodgate to America. So all them little walkway people didn't want to do, Spanish come and do all. So even if the American people was thinking, man, we didn't want to do that, they had no choice but to go and do those jobs. Same tactics they just use in Guyana. Same thing. You hear me? Because this is all about changing conversation. You hear me? Change the conversation. This is why the floodgate is open into Guyana right now. But the thing is that where people is not seeing. If the oil money went to the US, the minerals went to the US, the roads that's being built by the Chinese is not doing this for money. The government of Guyana do not have to pay the Chinese to build these roads because the Chinese is building the roads for the business opportunity. These Chinese is coming bringing their own people to work in Guyana, so therefore that money also is leaving Guyana. It would have been a different story if the government built a road itself and hire Guyanese people to work. At least that money will stay in Guyana. But we have the Chinese coming in, bringing in Chinese people to work on these roads. And there's a 10% chance you might see an Indian, you might see an Amerindian, you might see a black man working with the Chinese on the road. 10% chance. At this point, most likely you're going to see a Spanish man because Guyana is a whole lot of Spanish in Guyana right now, right? So that money is leaving Guyana. Now, let's talk about the land. The people in Guyana, they're not getting land like that. Or if they get a piece of land, it's not big enough where they could actually plant their own food and become self-sufficient. They're not doing it. Those people, as you guys could see on these platforms of the government going in and break down people's house, break down people's big house and taking their land. Why you think the government is doing this? Why you think the government is taking people's land and destroying certain houses in a certain area? Why you think the government is doing this? Because they don't have the oil money. They don't have the minerals money. They don't have the road money. Only thing Guyana got at this point is land. So, only thing Guyana could sell right now is land. The government is going to sell land to enriching, to set its generational wealth. He's going to sell more land because at this point, only people that could make Guyana thing a little bit is the foreigners. Only people that could buy a land for $60 million and $70 million is foreigners. Which regular Guyana person right now got $30, $40 million in their bank. So, the land is the next thing the government got. You ain't got nothing else. Everything else is already on contract to be set up the way it's set up now. Chinese got the contract to the road and the business opportunity. The white man got the oil and whatever is going on with that. Guyana is not, the government ain't got enough money to invest in the farmers. You don't have any money to invest in the farmers, and even if he had enough money to invest in the farmers, agriculture could make Guyana, could boost the economy. But that's not their vision. This is their vision. That's why I said sometimes you gotta pay close attention when you see the white man is standing next to your government official. You gotta pay attention. Okay. The land they selling out to the foreigners. That's why you see a lot of government officials. They're owning gated communities because the gated communities is where the foreigners coming in to live in. I remember one time I went to Guyana about 2 years ago, and I went up to one of these gated communities and I asked the boss man. I said, "Buddy, how much you charge a month for one of these rooms in here. The man said 3,500. That was 3,500 US. That's 70,000. That's 700,000 Guyana dollar. Now you tell me, if you're not coming in as a foreigner, what Guyana person is gonna spend 700,000 a month? So obviously that's not for Guyana people. So the government don't have the money to make the economy boom. The road jobs and the money that could go into the country is going out to the country. The people of Guyana don't have money to buy the land for the price the government is selling the land for, right? So now, what is Guyana resident is going to do? Because now, all right, you know what? Let me take it back. Let me take it one back. Go back to the farmers. They flooding the farmers out. The reason why they are flooding the farmers out because, like I said, the government already got this mapped out. You got a white man standing next to him. It's to flood the farmers out because the government already got his own farm. He already got his own import-export business company that's going on in Guyana right now, where he's going to bring in meat, bring in food from different countries, Barbados and places like that. And that food is going to be sold through the government company. You hear me? Because they know if they leave a regular Guyanese with 10 acres of land to plant and they give that Guyanese person the right drainage and the right mold to plant food, guess what? Then that money goes into that Guyana person pocket, and that person could help their own community become enriching their community. They're not going to need the Chinese to come into the community to sell nothing because they could start their own business and flourish in that way. So why not starve the people out? Flood the farmers out, kill out the cattle, kill out the food. Now, they only could depend on the Chinese and the government bringing in the food. This is why a while back when Desmond Ike was in office, he was urging people to get a right piece of land and plant their own food. This is one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're dealing with corruption, buddy, yo, John knows, man. It's sometimes you want to say certain things about certain people, man, but you gotta say only John knows. Because after all this got on, who's really punishing it? The Guyanese people. The Guyanese people. You know what I mean? Because America don't want to see nobody else's country grow. They are here to keep Guyana as a third world country. Why they take everything out of Guyana and make the white man flourish, the white country flourish. But if Guyana had weapon and thing, they couldn't come into Guyana like that. You hear me? This is why the white man always stop people from making weapon. They want a bigger weapon, but you can't do it to China. Because China have some very intelligent, smart people. China make sure they send their children to Ivy League school and to gather good knowledge and bring that knowledge back to China, and they put it in a pot and they mix it up and they come up with their own invention and they create their own way of life. So when it comes to bombing knowledge, American mind frame can't match China mind frame. You hear me? The white man can't match up a Chinese mind frame right now. Sorry. This is why they can't press the Chinese as much as they could press everybody else, because the Chinese is inventors. They could make things with the white man is not even thinking about. They already invented. See what I'm saying? This is why they have no choice but to let China do what China gonna do in Guyana. If it was anybody else, you think the US would have already pushed them out? They already push out their business, they already push their money out the Guyana, they already push the contract, they already push everything out the Guyana, but they cannot touch the Chinese because the Chinese are inventors. They have brilliant minds. See what I'm saying? So to my Guyanese people, listen, at this point, we have to become self-sufficient. If you got a piece of land, fight yourself to plan, do what you got to do. Set yourself. Because waiting for the government and waiting for these politicians to do anything for Guyana at this point is a lost cause. It's not happening. Because they already put it in such a way where Guyana is going to be stagnant for the next 10 to 20 years. Because before these Spanish come in, Guyana had a high possibility of rising, economy booming. No, they're gone down. Because before the government had to share out $1, now the $1 got to be split into different people. So now everybody getting $1. Instead of getting $1, you're getting 25-50 cents. You know what I'm saying? So this is my thoughts on everything that's going on right now. Corruption at the highest level. Who wins at the end? The rich man always. Poor man gonna be fighting to get back what has been taken from him, and he will never get it back. That's why the police force is gonna get bigger, because this is what the white man, this is how the white man set his life. You think the system is set up because of peace and unity for the people? No, the system is set up because as much the white man done still took from people, took their riches, took everything. They know one day these people was gonna get some type of will start getting enlightenment and start coming back. That's why they got big guns, they got bombs. If you think you're gonna come back, if I take you shoes, you think you're gonna come back and get you shoes, I'm gonna shoot you and you coming back for your own shoes. You know, this the life we in. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people who think and feel just like me because they could sit back and see it. You know what I'm saying? God gives sight to those who care. So pay attention, my people.